China believes that Taiwan is part of its land, and this belief is based on history, politics, and strategy. After the Chinese Civil War in the 1940s, the nationalist government lost and moved to Taiwan. The Communist Party took control of mainland China. Since then, China has always said that Taiwan is a part of the country and should return under its rule one day. For the Chinese government, this is a matter of national pride and political importance. Looking back in history, Taiwan was sometimes ruled by Chinese dynasties, but not always. At other times, it had its own rulers or was under foreign control. Because of this, some people say Taiwan clearly belongs to China, while others say its past is different enough to make it a separate place with its own path. Taiwan also has great importance because of where it is on the map. It sits in the Pacific Ocean, along with Japan and the Philippines. These three places form what is called the First Island Chain, a line that makes it harder for China to move its navy freely into the Pacific. If China controlled Taiwan, it would be easier for it to send ships into deeper waters and show more power in the region. Taiwan's success as a free and democratic country is another reason China wants control. Most people in Taiwan are ethnic Chinese, but they live under a system very different from communist China. Taiwan's strong economy and open society make some people in China wonder if there is a better way to live. The Chinese government does not like this idea. For all these reasons, history, location, politics, and image, China continues to say Taiwan must return to its control. So, what would happen? China would invade Taiwan. Let's find out. Is it easy to invade Taiwan? Difficulties to conquer. Invading Taiwan would be a huge and risky task. Any attacking force would need to cross the Taiwan Strait, a wide body of water that separates the island from mainland China. To move large numbers of soldiers, vehicles, and equipment, the invading side would have to rely on ships. But surface ships are easy to spot and can be attacked in many ways. Submarines could strike from below, underwater mines could damage or sink ships, and long-range missiles could hit from far away. New uncrewed attack boats and drones also add to the danger. Launching a full invasion of Taiwan would be extremely difficult and dangerous. Hard to land on Taiwan. Taiwan has a long coast, but there are very few good places for an enemy to land. Most of the island is covered with tall mountains that go straight down into the sea. This means attackers can't land near the cliffs. They must find flat beaches to get on land. But these beaches have two big problems for anyone trying to invade. First, there aren't many of these places. Second, Taiwan can easily protect these spots because they are limited and easy to defend. This makes it very hard for anyone to successfully land troops on the island. After landing challenges, once an enemy lands on Taiwan's beaches, they would face more challenges. The good beaches either lead into cities or farmland. If they land near a city, they would have to fight tough battles in busy streets right away. If they land outside the cities, they would have to move through large farming areas full of rice fields. These rice fields are wet and muddy, which makes it hard for soldiers and vehicles to move quickly. This would slow down the attackers and make it very hard for them to take control after landing. Natural barriers of Taiwan. Any attacker aiming for Taipei, Taiwan's capital, would have to overcome many natural obstacles. On the island's west coast, mountains often meet the sea, leaving only narrow paths for an invading force to pass through, making it easier for defenders to block them. On the east coast, the Yilan Plain offers long, easy-looking beaches to land on, but from there, attackers must travel through mountains. The main road to Taipei in this area includes many bridges over deep valleys and long tunnels carved through rock, slowing down any advance. These natural barriers give Taiwan a strong advantage, allowing its defenders to create layers of protection that make it very hard for an enemy to move forward and capture key areas. Natural defenses around the capital. Greater Taipei sits on a big old lake bed in northern Taiwan and is surrounded by mountains. Because of this, there are only a few narrow mountain paths that lead to the city by land. One path is so small that the road going through it has lanes stacked on top of each other to fit. Another path is wider, but has been turned into a long city with a river running through the middle. This river acts like a natural fence, about a mile long, making it much harder for enemies to get close to Taipei. These natural barriers help protect the city and make it hard to reach. If China surpasses all these hurdles, even if an enemy managed to get past all the natural barriers and land on Taiwan, Taking control of Taipei, the island's capital, would still be an enormous challenge. Taipei is a huge city covering about 250 square kilometers, and it's packed with tall buildings and very little open space. Fighting in such a crowded and busy city would be incredibly hard and dangerous. To get a sense of how tough it would be, think about the Battle of Stalingrad during World War II. That battle lasted 6 months, with German and Soviet armies fighting block by block, and more than 2 million people died. Back then, Stalingrad had about 850,000 residents. Today, Greater Taipei is home to over 7 million people, so any battle there would be even bigger and more complicated. When you look closely at Taiwan's land, mountains, and city setup, it's clear that a large invasion would be one of the toughest military operations in the world. Those in charge of national security might need to rethink which threats are most real and urgent to prepare for. China's pressure. On Taiwan's government, China has been improving its military very quickly, but it is unlikely to launch a full attack on Taiwan in 2025. The Chinese leaders worry about many issues, such as how good their military commanders are, problems in the economy, social unrest, and how the U.S. government, especially under Trump, might react. These concerns will probably stop China from making a large military move this year. Still, China will continue to increase pressure on Taiwan throughout 2025. On January 6th, the new U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told the Senate he believes a sudden Chinese attack on Taiwan is the biggest risk for the U.S. military. He reminded lawmakers that China's leader, Xi Jinping, wants Taiwan to become part of China and has told the military to be ready to use force by 2027. China's military is strong and should not be underestimated. In some areas, it is as advanced as the U.S. military. China's Navy is growing fast and is expected to have 395 ships by the end of 2025, including 3 aircraft carriers. China is also improving its amphibious ships, which can carry landing craft, troops, drones, vehicles, and helicopters. Reports say China is building special barges to help land forces on Taiwan. China has the largest air force in the region, with new fighter jets and stealth planes that allow it to operate far from its shores. It is increasing its nuclear weapons and has the world's largest number of hypersonic missiles. The army has more troops near Taiwan and better weapons, faster movement, and quick strike abilities. In 2024, China's military and coast guard practiced invasion and blockade plans many times. After Taiwan's new president took office in May, China held large drills surrounding Taiwan in 2 days. In October, it did another exercise, blocking Taiwan in 1 day. In December, China showed a huge military display, showing how it could stop a foreign attack. Even with these improvements, China has doubts. The U.S. Pentagon said in 2024 that China's military hasn't shown it can handle big city battles or move supplies long distances both needed to take Taiwan. China also lacks real combat experience, a big problem for such a hard operation. China's military leaders also face challenges. Some officers may not be trusted to make good decisions or handle problems. Corruption is a big issue, leading to the removal of top officials. Inside China, other problems affect war decisions. The population is aging, fewer babies are born, and violence is rising. The economy struggles with high debt, low investor confidence, and a failing real estate market. China's GDP grew only about 2.4 to 2.8% in 2024, less than the official 5% claim. China's trade surplus hit nearly $1 trillion in 2024. Beijing wants to avoid a trade war with the U.S. and improve relations with countries like Japan, India, and Australia while building ties with developing nations. Because of this, China will handle Taiwan carefully to avoid harming these relationships. Despite problems, China's leaders likely feel more confident their military could handle Taiwan if needed. But Xi Jinping probably hasn't decided to use force yet. The year 2027 is more a goal for military growth than an invasion date. Keeping the economy and social peace stable remains very important. Xi will also watch how the U.S., especially under Trump, handles Taiwan. Trump seems to want Taiwan to pay more for its defense while still supporting it. Trump has threatened tariffs on Taiwan's key semiconductor industry. Because of this, a full invasion in the near future is unlikely. Instead, China will likely keep pressuring Taiwan through military drills and politics while watching how other countries, especially the U.S., respond. The situation remains tense, but war is not certain. and careful strategy will shape what happens next. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and keep watching Global Tension today.